everyone on the interwebs, my name is Kotek. Today we are watching another Starcraft 2 Heart of the Swarm replay with some 1v1 action. And this time it is going to be between our yellow Terran in the bottom right corner of the map playing for team IMI. It is going to be Dayshi versus our red Protoss in the upper left corner of the map playing for team Mouse Sports. It is going to be MaNa. Protoss versus Terran, quite the cool matchup, especially in this map. Although I think that this map kind of favors the mech style of play from a Terran player. But here's the thing. There's one thing. Mech versus Terran versus Protoss, I mean, doesn't exactly work that well. It started to work a bit better versus Protoss in Heart of the Swarm, especially because of the Hellbats and the Widow Mines that work so, and I mean so well. They work fantastically. Just Hellbats and Widow Mines, they have been starting to get a bit of a, giving mech style a bit of a comeback versus Protoss. Hellbats versus the Zealots are pretty good. Widow Mines versus any sort of unit that Protoss has is overall pretty darn sweet. Now we're seeing a pretty basic style play from either player, but we're seeing that Dayshi is going for the gas opening instead of a gasless opening. So you might actually see maybe some Hellbats, maybe some Widow Mines, maybe it's just some Hellions. But maybe, I think that we might also see some Reapers, especially because he's not scouting. Dayshi is not doing any scouting whatsoever. He is just going to, he's not making a scout whatsoever, and he's already sending the rally point all the way to MaNa's base. So we're gonna see a Reaper here coming from this barracks. Reaper first, no reactor, just the Reaper, and I think he's gonna have the resources for it in time, and maybe he'll have to wait for a little bit. I'm not sure how much it costs. Yeah, he's gonna have to wait just a little bit, just a couple of seconds, not that big of a deal. And this probe's already starting to chase this little worker, poor little worker, and now he's just going off different targets. He's just going for everyone he can. There you go, the Reaper is now being made, getting ready to just go for the scouting trip there's about to embark on. And this SCV, will it actually die? No, it will not, because now there are two SCVs chasing that one probe. And seeing from MaNa though, he's already going for the expansion. He went for the one gateway expand. Again, that's also a typical style, but not going for the double gas. So here we go. The second gas is now being made. So correct me there. He is going to do double gas. It's just going to be a later second gas. So maybe not Mothership Core aggression, and not fast transition. One of those. The expansion is now done. The Reaper is on the way. Wow, it actually took a little while to get there. Maybe he just stayed in the base killing the probe. That's probably what yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, that was definitely it. The probe that was scouting died because of that Reaper. But it was a good thing for MaNa because he slowed down that Reaper harassment or scouting, and he saw the Reaper. So he knows what's coming to him, so he's forced to make a Mothership Core. Not even the Stalker, even though he could not make a Stalker. I forgot about the gas part. He has the mineral, he just doesn't have the gas. And the Zealot is now chasing that poor Reaper. And it was taking a bit of damage, but it can still regen just really nice or really quickly. But it has to be out of combat. He's constantly in combat. That Mothership Core almost got the snipe on it, but he needed 2 hits to actually kill it, and he didn't. Now here we go, second Reaper is here. That one Reaper is just gonna go over here to the entrance just for a little bit of a rest, a bit of a relax. Well, there's a proxy pylon here for MaNa, but I don't think it's gonna be a warping pylon, considering there's no gateways in the main base. It might actually just be like a proxy Stargate, especially if he is just waiting there with the probe, seeing what he's gonna do next. Will it be a Stargate? Yeah, it's gonna be a Stargate. Definitely a Stargate, and one more truth. There we go. The Stargate is now being done here for MaNa. So I think we're gonna see some Oracle aggression. Wow, that one Stalker. Even though Stalkers are very good against Reapers, that one Stalker just demolished it instantly. And now they're just killing probes, and although some probes are just going around, oh, they actually contain those Reapers, so it's just a matter of time until they're dead, but they're still gonna kill a lot of workers. Man, not that many actually. They killed how many? 7 workers. Well, 6. One of them was right here, but still, that's some nice damage here by Dayshi. I just have to admit, that's some really good damage. 6 workers this early in the game. But looking at the units lost tab, Dayshi is still closing up on him, just because The Reapers, going for the Reapers still costs a bit. He had to go for the double barracks, and he's now going for the third barracks. He couldn't invest that much into gas anyway, so he's just a bit delayed on the tech. Although he already has a second expansion with the orbital command, even with SCVs working, and he's getting his third command center on the way. Although he's going to use it for, just sending probes in this base. Now here we go, a bit of an aggression here with 2 stalkers, but Dayshi's going to have it covered. And I just noticed that jet skin's a bit different. It just seems a bit more, not as bland. It's awesome, that little bar thing. There's Marauders in here to defend, so it's gonna be completely fine, especially if he had this slow, where is it, the concussive shells, but he's not even researching it. Oh, that could be really helpful against these stalkers, these stalkeroonies. But here we go, this Marauder will die. Yes, it will. He probably will not die. No, he did not die. He just went to the bunker, and the stalker died instantly because it overcommitted. But how many oracles are there on the map? Oh, wrong key. Here we go. 1 oracle, 2 oracles, never mind. 2 oracles. One of them is almost dead. I don't know how it survived, but still 11 kills on the workers. Look at this mineral line. It's completely empty, although a couple of them came over here, and now they're going back. I mean, the workers killed. It's just even 5 to 7. Maybe a couple Marines were killed trying to defend this lovely Oracle army. But now the turret is done. It's getting ready to defend. There are Marines over here, and the turret now is just delivering its first shot. But now the Oracle found a sweet spot to kill the workers without actually feeling committed to dying. And now these workers have to be pulled. It is a worker death fest here from MaNa. I mean, from Dayshi, from MaNa. How should we say? Yeah, Dayshi. MaNa is just giving Dayshi a death fest of workers and Marines, of course. But now there are a lot of Marines, and these 2 oracles don't have any energy whatsoever to actually fight these Marines, so they're being forced to back away. But the second expansion here is done. It's working. The probes are just mining here. The double gas is now being made. Just get that gas income up a notch, double it, maybe even, yeah, he will double it up probably. How many income are you seeing? How many workers? Yeah, they're pretty much even on workers. Just that Dayshi has mules. That's the only thing. Dayshi has 3 mules, always constantly working because of the 3rd command center. So he just has that huge mineral advantage. And now this is actually a pretty good move by Dayshi. He needed the supply depots. Where did he build them? Right in front of the bunker, so that there are no surrounding units. But that can lead to a cost, because now the Marines can't get on there unless Dayshi lowers them down. But man, I think he's thinking about a 3rd expansion, actually, not a 4th. Now, a couple of civies being killed? No, maybe just Marines. Yeah, just Marines. But they're not going to be able to do anything. And here we go, the robotics bay being made for MaNa, an immortal being made, the +1 attack and defense also being researched, actually for both players, although Dayshi is not researching the +1 armor, and he doesn't have +1 armor, so basically he only has 1 engineering base. He's just constantly upgrade from that. But MaNa just has more forges, and he can just get ahead in upgrades in the long term. Now, the army from Dayshi, it is mostly bio. Dayshi's army is just bio, with a couple barracks. Yeah, mostly barracks, 1 factory without any add-ons whatsoever, and 1 starport with a reactor just constantly producing medivacs. That's going to be great. It's also going to need to make another one for Vikings, or just use the one he already has for Vikings until whenever he has a great amount of medivacs, the amount that where it doesn't need any more. Although you can't ever not need medivacs. They're always pretty good. Oh, sometimes there's just a point. Now we have a little bit of a trouble here from MaNa. He's not using the Stargate, and it's pretty much just sitting there. But good thing is, Dayshi didn't find it. Dayshi did not see that Stargate yet. So what that means is, MaNa does not have a lot to worry about. He still has the building there in case he needs it, in case he wants to do maybe void rays or carriers, if that ever comes to such a point. Now, killing a couple of Marines with this Oracle, no, it's actually not. He sees 3 Marines, he could have killed it, but instead he just walked away. He's gonna maybe find this huge bio army, mostly Marines, but there are a couple Marauders in the army. Actually, he's making the same amount, 2 Marauders, 2 Marines at the same time. And, ooh, yeah, something here. Close that. But here's what we are seeing. Vikings as well being made, of course. +1, +2 attack, +1 defense, +1 armored, +1 armor on the vehicles, on the factory units, and the starport units, because now it's the same upgrade. And the Colossus, they're being produced, although they're kind of stuck here. 2 Colossus kind of stuck. They cannot move, or can they? They kind of can move, but I guess he just really wants to send them actually to that place. 3 gateways on the way. And the army for MaNa is mostly just zealots, mostly sentries, a couple of stalkers as well. But these 2 Colossus will make a great addition, which he is sending. He should be raiding up for an attack pretty soon, but Dayshi's gonna beat him to it. Because look at this army from Dayshi, there's a lot. But now the Oracle with the Revelation upgrade is constantly keeping a track on those units. That's great. Just keep a track on where the attack is going. Although he can kind of see where the attack is going. He's destroying his expansion. Will he cancel it, actually? And now the Colossus must become in a good play. And here we go! The force fields are just amazing. Trapping most of Dayshi's army. That was a great force field. And most of his army is now dead. Especially with the upgrades. The upgrades are actually doing a lot of good here. Actually doing pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. But the MaNa's army is chasing Dayshi's army. Well, I mean the remainders of it, but Dayshi is constantly producing Marines, Marauders, Hellbats. He's even making Hellbats now, so it's going to be a great addition to the army, especially with a lot of Zealots. But I have a feeling it's going to be too late. Look at the supply difference is basically on SCVs alone, and the army for MaNa, it is definitely a bit. I mean, it might actually beat Dayshi's army. I'm actually not that sure, because Dayshi's army is actually starting to size up really nicely. Even with the attack he just did and lost a bunch of his army, it is still a good army. Temple Archive is also being made for MaNa, but Revelation here on the top ground, also keeping a track on the army. That's how Revelation is such a great ability. I'm not gonna lie, it's such a great ability that really has to be used a lot. Although the Observer almost does the same trick, but you cannot destroy Revelation. You can destroy an Observer if you scan it, or if you have an Observer of your own. But you cannot just destroy a Revelation. This army for Dayshi is now back to its old days, just huge and powerful. But 1-2 upgrades, while MaNa has what, 2-2? Yeah, he does have 2-0-2. Shield doesn't really count for the matter. It's pretty much an extra armor. Although he could use it, but 2-4 is just enough. Now I want to kind of lead those stalkers. I mean, lead Dayshi's army in, forcing him to stim. And now he just blinked. He went a bit forward and then came back. And now 2 Colossus in the battle. An Oracle could do a bit of damage. Not for Revelation though, for actually doing damage. And that could be huge, but the Oracle just got instantly destroyed. And there's a lot of Vikings in the battle, but the force fields are actually pretty good. But the Vikings are doing a ton of damage to the Colossus. They need to be sniped quickly, because look at this. Stalkers cannot do anything else in this army. It's just a lot of Marauders from Dayshi. And Marauders' kick, they just destroy that Stalkers, and they destroy the Colossus really. Even with the upgrade disadvantage that Dayshi has, he's still managing to do a huge battle here. Not even the Zealots are going to help you, MaNa. Oh, they're going to do a bit. Oh, they would do a bit if they had charge. But he's only now starting to research it a bit late. Only extended thermalice is now being researched. Also a bit late. Colossus should be chrono boosted out, but it is not being chrono boosted out. The storms on top of the Marauders. The Zealots trying to do some damage, but at this point there's nothing that MaNa can do. And GG, well played. Dayshi takes that game with a pure bio Hellbat army. Well, first bio, and then with a couple of Vikings and a couple of Hellbats, just destroyed MaNa's typical Stalker, Zealot, Sentry, Colossus type of army that could work against it so well. It actually had a lot of great force fields, but this amount of units, the Marauders, there were a lot of Marauders, and they just did a ton of damage to MaNa's army, and he cannot stand it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.